3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is your boy Dre. Got a few topics we're gonna discuss today. Got Buju Banton has some show cancelled. Vybz Kartel has announced the date that the tickets are gonna drop for his concert, and also the location of where the concert is gonna be kept. And also we might touch back on some of what MC Nuffy said about Leng, Sting and the Vybz Kartel show. Gonna peel the layers back and see if we can kinda forward to a conclusion on what is really going on. So firstly, I'm gonna touch on the Buju Banton thing, because I'm seeing a lot of negative comments towards it. It seems as if people are rejoicing that he had to cancel some of his shows. And I don't know, it's like it all goes back to what Vybz Kartel said about most Jamaicans. It's like a little bad mind thing there where it's like we like to see people fail. We don't give people encouragement to try, and if they fail, we encourage them to try again. Because what a lot of people don't realize, or maybe they keep forgetting, music is business. And with business, you're gonna take risks, and risks are there. So there's a probability of you not completing the goal that you set out for. And if anybody that knows me and knows this channel, I'm always a person that is always encouraging artists to go out in other markets, not just the diaspora of Jamaica and the Caribbean, because there is where our music is supported the heaviest, because that is where most Jamaicans are and most people from the Caribbean are. So I've always said, why aren't artists taking the risk to go out there and see if they can corner these markets? Now what Buju did, I have to commend him, you know what I mean, because as far as it is shown, he sold out more shows than he has cancelled. Also, I gotta give it to him that he even tried. But I think where they may have made a mistake is that they didn't do maybe proper research in some of these areas in terms of their analytics to see where most of their streams were coming from, to see if there's an actual big enough fan base in these areas to sell tickets. I've heard rumors of ticket prices maybe being too high. I'm not sure about that, because I personally I don't live in those cities, so I wouldn't search for tickets in the cities that were the shows were cancelling. So I can't give a definite answer on that part. But I think the logistical part of it is where they made the mistake, and them being business people, I think going forward they're gonna do better when it comes to that part. Also, I've seen some people say some things about maybe choosing smaller venues. I'm not against that either, especially being if it's a space that you have not been in yet. If it's a market that you have not been in yet, I think it would have been better to start small and say, for instance, oversell, and then say, all right, then we are gonna do another night here, or we may come back in another few months or whatever, and get a bigger venue. Promise the fans that didn't get to see you a bigger show. I think that's what they should have done. But I'm not going to come here and say, oh, Buju know himself and he never need to take up not this and take up that. Like, no, like, why would you even say that? He's doing music business. So basically, when I listen to the naysayers and the people that were leaving negative comments, it's as if you are telling dancehall and reggae artists to just go to the regular places they go to and not try to seek other markets. And that is not how business works. Because if you even check like a KFC or Burger King or those people that franchise their business, that is the reason why they franchise their business, because there is a need in other markets. And a lot of the times it happens, maybe not a lot, but there are KFCs that have failed in certain areas. There are Burger Kings that have failed in certain areas because maybe the person that bought the franchise didn't do enough groundwork to see what the foot traffic and vehicular traffic would be in that area. So sometimes they'll put a franchise in the wrong place, and it just doesn't work. That's just how business goes. There's a lot of risk in any kind of business. So I won't come here and act like I'm a know-it-all and this is what Buju should have done and this is what his team should have done and whatever. They made the move and some of the moves just didn't work. That's just typically what it is. And I hope they fix it, because a lot of those markets, we need people in those markets, because we have Jamaicans all over and people in diaspora all over. It's just that it is more concentrated in certain areas. But also, we're not the only consumers of reggae or dancehall music, so we still have a fan base to feed. So my advice would be to the team, just go back to the drawing board, try those markets again, but maybe try some smaller venues and then see how it works. Okay, that's what I would say. So we're going to the Vybz Kartel thing now. So we see Vybz Kartel has dropped flyers stating that the show will be at the National Stadium on the 31st of December, and tickets will be available on the 31st of August. So I think I've seen a lot of people making mistakes. It seems like people don't read to understand nowadays. The show is December 31st, and tickets will be available for purchase on August 31st. So it's like people say, oh, I thought the show was December 31st. Did they change the date? Like, why would he change the date? August 31st is like around the corner. Like, come on. Like, I don't, just read to understand. But I see that the whole internet was set ablaze when the flyers were dropped. I like the flyer, I like the name of the that they're giving to the show, Freedom Street. I think that's one of the names that a lot of the fans was alluding to they should use. So Freedom Street is the name of the show. December 31st is the date of the show, and it will be at the National Stadium, which a lot of people were contemplating where the show was going to be held at. The National Stadium was my choice because it to me it was the only feasible choice. Me personally, I don't think one show is enough. I've always said this about a Vybz Kartel show, that I think it's something that is gonna span or should span over a weekend. So let's see if they'll get the reaction like what happened with Buju's first two shows in New York, where tickets were flying off the shelves so fast, where they had to do a second show and both shows were sold out. So let's see if this is going to happen in Vybz Kartel's case. I would really like that to happen. Would be an historic event in that regard. Also, all the fans that show up would possibly get a chance to see him in concert. He stated in a post that he's going to be on stage for 3 hours. That is hectic. That's a lot of work for somebody who was ill, who has Graves' disease, who has been absent from the space, absent from practicing, absent from working out for 13 years. But Vybz Kartel is the kind of person that if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. So I have I have all the belief in him that he'll be able to pull this off. You know what I mean? I see where he's in the gym, he's working out, he has a personal trainer, he's doing his regular checkups with his doctor, he's doing everything, he's going to other countries to seek medical attention, he's doing everything that he said he was gonna do to make himself ready for this concert, and I'm just here waiting for that day. I have nothing negative to say. Everybody should know this. Vybz Kartel is my artist. We have been championing Vybz Kartel's freedom from the very day we heard he was locked up. So we definitely are looking forward to this. Looking forward to greatness. Looking forward to history being created when it comes down to Vybz Kartel. So I'm just here waiting for that day to happen. And whatever Vybz Kartel says, whatever he said he's gonna do, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? So in my last video that I dropped, I used the AI to read out what MC Nuffy had to say about Leng, Vybz Kartel, Sting, and the Vybz Kartel show, which is now named Freedom Street, right? I am one of those persons who was wondering why I hadn't heard from MC Nuffy. I know MC Nuffy has close ties to Vybz Kartel from the beginning. He has also very close ties to Sting and Leng. So he's kind of caught in the crossfire. So I was thinking to myself, maybe he's not going to say anything because he's too close to both parties and he has a lot of respect for both parties. Or he's gonna come out and say something, which he did. I see a lot of people are calling him a sellout because he's telling Leng to not keep the show and just give the space to Vybz Kartel. I am for that because I think Leng would be saving himself and his team a lot of money by not going forward with the show, because Sting has been on, I don't even want to say one leg because it is less than one leg at this point. The last few years, the last two Stings that were kept, they weren't highly anticipated. They flopped in the sense of providing people with a proper show. In terms of patrons, I don't have those numbers, so I can't say if they flopped in that regard. But in terms of putting on a show that is something to talk about, I don't think they did that, right? So I think what MC Nuffy says is the right thing. Step aside this year, go back to the drawing board. Especially now with the young Leng at the helm, he'll have enough time to do his proper research, create a bond with the artists in his age group and younger. Let them have some form of solace to know that if we sign off on, say, paying you $10,000 for whatever, that is what you're going to get. There's not going to be any animosity at the end of the show with me owing you one, you going on social media saying I owe you, stuff like that. That used to happen back in the day with his father. That is a thing hanging over their heads that they need to fix, that they need to address. So having some more time to address those issues, I think that is the way forward. But from a business standpoint, and them being the promoter, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to step away. If they step away, it's going to be last minute when they realize that tickets aren't flying off the shelf. I think that would show them that, yeah, this show is not going to go on. You guys should just step away and whatever. So and as I said, I'm about people calling MC Nuffy a sellout. A lot of people don't understand the closeness of MC Nuffy to Vybz Kartel. So if he's taking the side of a Vybz Kartel, that is not him selling out on Sting. That is just him looking out for them, because he's somebody that's in the business. He can maybe see things that we haven't seen. He maybe is privy to conversations that we aren't privy to. So for him to come out and say that, and everybody know this man has always been championing Sting and Ling. No matter where he goes, no matter what platform he's on, he's always talking about it. So for him, I don't think it was easy for him to say what he said. But also, there's a question I have to ask. There's the elephant in the room. Is Nuffy just trying to secure his job or his space on the Vybz Kartel show? Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's thinking for himself, and you can't blame him for that. Also, too, he still could do both shows. That's more money for him anyways. Because Sting is the 26th, Vybz Kartel show is the 31st. So he still could do both shows, like he used to do back in the day. When there was a lot more shows, MC Nuffy used to be on all of them. So I think he's looking out for himself. Anybody who has any sense or any form of knowledge in, or whatever you want to call it, would want to be part of Vybz Kartel's show. It is going to be an historic event. It's going to be a global event. It's going to be something to be talked about for months and years to come. So who wouldn't want to be a part of it? This is one of the first shows where I see DJs and selectors are literally calling to secure their spot. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually they wait to be called by the promoter, but these people are calling the promoters to book their spot on the show. And when I say booked, I don't mean they are paying for their spot. I mean everybody wants to have a slot to at least get to be a part of what is going to happen. But there's a lot of layers to peel back on all these things that I've talked about. Hopefully I get to do a live stream about it where I can hear you guys' ideas and opinions on this. Also, leave a comment on any one of these topics and we can continue the conversation there. I'm a person that I pay attention to my comment section and I engage with my fans. So do the do and let's talk about this. Always remember to like, share and subscribe. Also, don't forget to donate to the channel. That is how we keep the channel up and running. Whatever platform you are watching on, there is a link somewhere there about in the description that you can lend your support to the channel. Alright? Until next time, I'm out.
3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning.